All right, welcome in. Culver's postgame show. Culver's, welcome to Delicious. I'm Ryan Brown. Dunaway is in Auburn. We're going to jump on a little bit early. Auburn still not final yet, but we want to give Dunaway a chance to react. Like most people that call the state of Alabama home, he's already left the stadium. This was a disastrous day, Dunaway, for the Auburn Tigers. No other way around it.
Yeah, I haven't left the stadium. I'm back here in the corridor. And you were joking, but a lot of people did file out after that interception in the red zone in the third quarter. What was it, about 7 minutes ago? That's when a lot of people started finding their way home or back to the tailgate. Totally surprised at the outcome of this one. I thought Auburn's defense would show up a little bit. I got pretty much what I thought from the Auburn offense, but it too was even worse than than I had imagined it being, and worse in person than it looked on television. A lot of open receivers. I don't know if you see that on television like you do sitting in the stadium high up where the press box is. There's some open receivers on some plays that the quarterbacks either don't have time to get it to or just not looking in that direction. But this is a team that's in a bad, tough situation after this game. Penn State can be a good football team, so it's not the loss to Penn State. It's just going to be everything leaving this game that Auburn will have to deal with. Missouri, LSU coming up. That's one thing. The schedule gets really, really tough after that. And, with the Brian Harsin thing this offseason, that instantly is where everybody's mind goes. Will Brian Harsin even be here later in the year? So not a great day here at Jordan-Hare Stadium. Not the fans' fault, man. They showed up. And it was a beautiful day down here. But the Penn State fans who made the trip are enjoying it inside the stadium right now.
Dunaway, Blake says, I'm surprised Calzada did not get any time at quarterback. I mean, we have, listen, there's a rumor out there about Calzada. Whether or not that rumor's true, I think there's a pretty good chance he's banged up. I think you would have had to have seen Calzada by now if he's at all healthy.
100%. Even the worst Zach Calzada we saw last year was never this bad. So if he's healthy, he was dressed, he was on the sideline. But, I never really saw him throw anything with a zip on the football. So, in warm-ups, there were some soft tosses, and that's about it. Maybe that's a sign he's on his way back, but obviously not ready to play yet for this team. But he was at least dressed. I saw him. That's more than I ever did with Deron Carter in
Tuscaloosa. That's right. So right now, maybe he's not that big of a rumor, right? Yeah. We can bring Lance in. Do you need a bell? Dunaway, you call it. What do you need to do here?
I need to go right when the game ends. So I got a second. I got a little bit. I can talk to Lance. Lance can give me hell about Georgia Tech hanging in there with Ole Miss.
LT, you're in. You got us, LT?
Sunday through Sunday.
No, we're going to take Lance out before we hear something we shouldn't hear. What was he going to give? What was he going to give you hell about there, Dunaway?
Georgia Tech. I told you Georgia Tech would upset Ole Miss. What was the final on that one? Hadn't gone final.
I don't know that it's final. Well, I mean, it's been over for a long time. I don't know that we've got an exact final on it. But Ole Miss was dominating them, Dunaway. Yeah. 42-0. 42-0 is where that one finished up for you.
42-0. I didn't think Troy could play with Appalachian State. That ending was crazy.
Oh, man, just a terrible ending. The two Sun Belt teams in our state both had a chance to spring the upset, yep. And both of them losing in heartbreaking, disgusting fashion, however you want to describe it. I don't know how you want to describe it.
Looks like we're going final out there. Either that or Penn State has scored again.
No, it's 41-12. 41-12. All right, go to TV. I'm going to bring Lance in. Let's see if Lance can hear me. LT, do you want to give Dunaway some crap about the Georgia Tech pick before he goes? No,
I'm not shocked. Georgia Tech's terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not
worse. Who's worse, the game I'm at or Georgia Tech?
No, I think Auburn would beat Georgia Tech. I feel pretty confident there. But I feel really confident my under 8 for Auburn total wins with Barkley is safe. I think this is really, and this is not an overreaction, I think you guys would agree, the way they got pushed around, I think it's a 4-8 team.
Pretty bad team right now. Dunaway's about to get run over by the police escort that gets the officials out after the game, in case you're wondering what that is. Dunaway, 42, we'll see you later. Are you going to watch the officials come running by?
I don't know. I'll take it as far as you want me to.
This is the game officials. This is how they get out of the stadium.
Well, you might want to get Harsin a ride out of there pretty quick too.
All right, we have lost Jim Dunaway. We're gonna drop that out. LT, not a good day for Auburn. It has gone final 42-14. I don't know. I don't know how to put this in perspective for Auburn, LT. Just a awful day all the way around for the Tigers. 41 to
Yeah,
12, excuse me, the final 41-12.
you know, the excuse was quarterback.
Yeah.
And watching Penn State run up and down, and I think they finished with close to 250 on the ground. And then obviously when you're -4 in turnovers, a game of this caliber, you can't win. And they were good in really no aspect. I mean, I'm shocked the way this thing played out. I'm not shocked they lost, but to lose the way they lost. I mean, their worst loss, what did they say, in a decade in Jordan Harris since the Georgia game?
Yeah.
And, I just wonder what their psyche is going to be rolling into next week.
I don't know. I mean, that should be an easier win. I mean, it's going to be an easier game next week, obviously, right? But it should be an easier win for them against Missouri. That's a team that struggled against Abilene Christian today a little bit. But I don't know that anything's going to come easy for this Auburn team on offense. And, I think it's abundantly clear that TJ Finley was hurt in that game. He was hurt right there at the end of the first half, LT, and you saw him kind of, I guess it was the bad shoulder going to the locker room. And you go to Ashford full time there at the end. And I look, he's a change of pace. He's a fun guy to bring in, if you need a quarterback run. But I don't think anybody thinks that guy is the long-term answer. But it's probably going to be the guy you got to try, right?
Well, I mean, Calzada's got to be hurt. I mean, it has to be, right?
Well, Dunaway, when he joined us, said Calzada was in uniform throwing in the pregame. So
yeah, he's at least on the sideline in uniform, but I'm just to the point where I just don't get it. Like, is Brian Harsin trying to get run? Because Calzada's got SEC experience. He's beaten a number one team. At least put him out there, even if he's practiced like crap. Even if you don't think he's getting the offense, at least give him some reps. Can't be any worse.
You wouldn't think. I mean, that was a pretty bad game today. I mean, a pretty bad performance by Auburn's quarterbacks. We got a lot of comments. We could jump to those if you would like. Let's see. Trying to find the best ones. I mean, they're all over the place here. NH3425. Auburn will win one conference game against Western Kentucky, and that is it. That's no given. That's no given, by the way. No.
Yeah, it's not a given. It's really not.
That's a good offense.
I mean, look, we kind of knew it was inevitable coming into the season that Brian Harsin was going to be done. But, I got a text from our buddy Clay a minute ago, and he was like, how quick did they fire him? Did they fire him in season? And I don't think they do. I don't know how you feel about that.
Well, I was reading
let it play out. I mean, who would even be your interim head coach?
It'd be one of the Boise guys, I guess. Kiesel or Schmetting are your two coordinators. I saw Justin. I saw Justin Hokanson tweeting during the game that he had been told if this goes bad, you could look for something potentially to go down during the bye week. So you can start doing the math there. Is how close are you to the bye week? That's the problem. Is even as bad as this was, Lance, they should be able to win the next two before you get to that bye week. I'm sorry. The bye week is, when is that? After Ole Miss.
Yeah, I don't know, Brown. Man, I'm watching LSU right now. Mississippi State's one of my tuition games that we talked about. And Mike Leach just doesn't want to bring a punter on the field. He finally did. But going for it on your own 28 is a little ballsy in the early second quarter. But LSU's defense is scratching and clawing. I think offense, that is going to be one of the worst games to ever watch, is going to be LSU and Auburn, because there's going to be no offense.
You're absolutely right about that. Neither one of them can move the ball, but you got to give credit to their defense. Just 6-0 in that game.
If Auburn loses one of those two games, Brown, if they start this thing 3-2 before they get on the road and deep in conference play, this could be a 4-8 year realistically.
Because you got Missouri next, who, again, did not look great, but neither did Auburn. So I have no earthly idea. There are no givens here for Auburn right now. Missouri is at least 2-1. You've got LSU. We'll see what happens with them. Like you said, that's going to be an ugly enough game. Who knows? You've got Georgia, who's the best team in the country. I don't think there is any doubt. That team is just demolishing people. And you've got Ole Miss, you've got Ole Miss, who today played phenomenal. That's a bad opponent. We were just talking about giving Dunaway crap about it. Georgia Tech's awful, but man, Ole Miss looked good today. So there's some more. If Auburn can't square this away.
So we're the middle of September, and Nebraska's already open. Auburn's open. Georgia Tech is open. What am I missing? There's another big job that's going to be open.
Nebraska's open. Auburn looks like it's headed that way. Georgia Tech looks like it's headed that way.
I can guarantee you Georgia Tech and Auburn are open.
Yeah, I mean, Georgia Tech, there's just – and I love Jeff Collins. There is no saving that one. There's no saving that one. That's just – Ole Miss just beat them 42-0 at home, Lance. I mean, I don't know how you recover from that. Not that Ole Miss – I'm not saying Ole Miss is a bad team, but you lose at home 42-0. That's just – you're not gonna recover from that one. Yeah, some wild games today. Let's touch on Alabama for a minute. I know this is going to be mostly Auburn here because Alabama was playing a crap team, and La Monroe layup game for Alabama. It's not even final, so we'll just touch on it and come back to it when it goes final. But it's 63-7. Their offense is a mess, though, Lance. In the first half of that game, the only time Alabama really moved the ball very well was when they were in the 2 minutes.
Yeah, I'll tell you the takeaway I had, and I think this is a positive, is how good Kool-Aid is at potentially flipping the field.
Yeah,
and I know it's Louisiana Monroe, but I think you've got something in the return game with Gibbs on the kick returns and then Kool-Aid in punt returns. And, if you get a guy that can flip the field with the defense Alabama's got, I mean, if you figure this offense out, I mean, again, you've got, arguably the best quarterback in college football, the best quarterback in Alabama history with a really good defense, a really good kicker, and now you've got a guy that is a threat on the punt returns to flip the field. I think they can ease into this. I'm not nearly as concerned. Like Auburn was DEFCON 1 or 5 the worst? I think it was 1, right?
1 is the worst. 5 is peacetime. Yeah.
Yeah, we're DEFCON 1 right now with Harsin. For Alabama, DEFCON 4.
On the offense, not on Nick Saban.
On the offense. I think everything else is fun.
Yeah, the defense looked pretty good. And you're right, the special teams, they blocked the kick, return game looks good. We'll get to that when it goes final. It's not final yet, about 5 minutes left in that one. There, I don't even have it on the screen. That's one-sided. It's gotten 63-7. All right, we are Culver's postgame show right now. Culver's postgame show. Welcome to Delicious. 2 great Birmingham locations for Culver's, 119 and Tattersall Park, just off Highway 280. Also, Stadium Trace in Hoover, over near the Hoover Met. Culver's postgame. Welcome to Delicious. Don't forget the burgers, the chicken fingers, great for all your tailgating. Also, next round cocktails. You see those behind me. I always screw this up. Next round cocktails. You got some in the cup? Whatever. Rose Sangria.
Yep.
Which one you got?
No, I've just got Culver's right here. You've got that.
Oh, yeah. I've got the Culver's too. Rose Sangria and also the salted lime margarita. The 2 next round cocktails. Drinknextround.com. Drinknextround.com. Great friends of our show. Joey asked, where's Jim? He was on with us at the top of the show. He's about to go to CBS 42, Dunaway is. You'll see that at the bottom screen right there if you want to watch it over my shoulder. Bradley says, I feel like Bama used this game as an extra 8A game to work out some things. Super vanilla on both sides of the ball. Boy, you better hope so. And they get to do that again against Vandy next week, but then it starts to get real for Alabama LT. So they do have some things they need to iron out.
Well, a couple of things. I can't wait to see A&M and how they respond with Max Johnson at quarterback tonight against Miami.
I agree.
And then fast forward what Arkansas looks like against A&M. I've got a feeling A&M is going to come out play extremely sharp tonight. And if Arkansas comes out and pops A&M, you got major concerns for Alabama going to Fayetteville. I mean, this Alabama team right now seems very vulnerable, and especially going on the road against a physical team like Arkansas.
Yeah, I agree completely. Vandy, by the way, hit the over, LT. They hit the over, 38-28. Give them 3 wins, baby. Vandy,
hey, when I saw them down 28-14, I didn't watch one snap of that game. I'll tell you another thing. I tried to get in touch with Leighton to see if she was able to watch. What a catch. Tuition game, Mississippi State there, Brown. Unbelievable grab.
That may be enough to win right there, LT.
I hope.
Maybe enough to win the game outright.
But I tried to reach out to Leighton to see if she was watching her school, South Alabama. And I didn't get to see the ending. So what happened with South Alabama and UCLA?
South Alabama. All right. So South Alabama, I may get the score wrong here. They're up. Let me get the final score, and I can tell you what the score was.
I think it was 32-31 final.
Yeah. All right. So they're up 31. 32-31 was the final. So they're up 31-29. They're up 31-29. Line up for a field goal, and I'd have to look to tell you how long the field goal was going to be. Then they put their holder and quarterback. They change into an offensive formation, put their holder and quarterback, split the kicker out, and snap it to the holder for a fake. He's got an open guy, doesn't throw it, eats it, takes the sack, and then UCLA drives down to kick the game winner at the horn.
Wait,
But
why did he not throw it?
I don't know. Yeah, I had a guy open it. Well, because it's the freaking holder.
Yeah, but you practice
that's why
that.
you don't do. Well, I agree.
You practice a fire drill at least. I know. A bad snap, you got to be prepared to throw it. You got a guy wide open.
This is why you don't put it in the hands of the holder. That's why you let your quarterback do it if you're going to do that. But it was a mess of an ending for them. Did you see the Troy ending against Appalachian State? Have you seen that yet?
I did, and I've just got to say, for 3 games, if you're an App State fan, I can't imagine what your blood pressure is.
Yeah.
Going back to the loss against North Carolina and the back and forth there, and last week, holding out, grinding that win against Texas A&M, and the way that ended. I mean, Chase Bryce has got an arm, but you hardly ever see the deflection come back, and somebody's able to be able to get that and take it around the end there for the touchdown. I mean, that was incredible.
Yeah, it was. The ball was on the 22, Lance. So it was going to be a 39-yard field goal that would not have ended the game, by the way. But at 4th and 2 on the 22, you almost just rather have your offense out there, game on the line, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, there's 2:52 to go, so that's where that happened.
I will tell you the 2 biggest takeaways, at least early. And we've got a lot of football to go today, which is extremely excited about some of these night games. But my 2 takeaways. Auburn, their offense is one of the worst I've ever seen. I threw it on Twitter, and I was like, tell me a year that was worse. And some people are saying 2012. That was a really bad team.
That was the worst offense.
And maybe it is because, I mean, just imagine if something happens to Tank Bigsby. I mean, Jarquez is good, but this offense is awful. And then on the other side, watching Bo Nix today, we've always known he's a competitor. But Bo Nix, that's the best I've ever seen him play today against a really physical BYU defense.
Yeah, they dominated BYU. Great win by them. Well, it's too far back for me to go. I apologize. But somebody threw it in there. It's criminal that Tank Bigsby only had 11 touches today, Lance. 9 carries, 39 yards, no touchdowns, 2 catches, 38 yards, no touchdowns.
I mean, look, I agree. I mean, once you get in that hole, it's tough to get him the ball. But, that was a competitive game for a while. And, to me, Tank is a guy that should at least get 20 touches a game, at least.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to try to go back and get some of these comments. They are coming fast and furious. You can drop them in there. Listen, if you're watching us on YouTube, haven't done it already, please subscribe. Click that subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up as well, please. If you're watching us on Twitter, a lot of games are going final right now. Auburn is final. Alabama is final. Fire off a retweet. Get some more people in here with us and get the comment section going. We'll have some fun over the next 40 minutes or so. So fire off a retweet. Give us a thumbs up if you're on Twitter. If we're on Facebook, share us on Facebook. Click the like as well on Facebook there and on Twitch. We appreciate you doing that. So spread the word on the show here. Fire off some retweets if you're watching us and all that good stuff. David says, LT's on Facebook. LT, don't fall for the hogs. You know what is coming. I don't know. We still need to see more from Arkansas, but they've looked pretty good. I'll say that.
I mean, the thing we know is they show up, and they're so well coached with Sam Pittman. Barry Odom is a really good defensive coordinator, and KJ Jefferson's a physical quarterback. Not consistently accurate, but a guy that can obviously beat you with his legs, his physicality. It's the one thing I saw from TJ today. I'd never seen TJ Finley run the ball like that.
Yeah, I mean, he had to. You've got free rushers coming from everywhere. They got no protection for him, I mean, he had to run it that way.
But I was still surprised. I'll tell you this. So I want to go back to the first possession for Penn State. Owen Popo's hit is the best hit I've seen all year.
I mean, on a quarterback, it's maybe the best hit I've seen. Well, not in forever, but I mean, you just don't. You're not able to hit a quarterback like that anymore. And I immediately thought, well, they're going to flag that.
Because of the violence of the collision, I thought they would flag it. I'm right there with you.
It should not have been flagged, but I immediately thought, well, they're going to throw a flag.
Dude, Sean Clifford is a big physical dude, and he was up like levitating for a couple of seconds and landed flat on his back. Ball pops out. I thought that was going to be the defining moment of the game and flip everything. And I can't believe James Franklin went for it. And I think, Danielson brought it up. There's no way Sean Clifford is in his right mind after that hit. So why you didn't punt that? I never understood that.
And you run a quarterback sneak. Yeah, you don't punt it to Auburn, whose quarterbacks are terrible, and you give them the ball at midfield, and then Auburn drives down and gets a field goal. I'm like you. I thought that might actually flip the game already right away. If Auburn drives down and gets 7, early on, they've got all the momentum, but they had to settle for 3 there, and then really Penn State controlled the game from that point on. I mean, there was really – I mean, that was it. From that point on, Penn State controlled the game.
Let me throw a hypothetical. If Auburn's playing Georgia next week, what is Auburn's team total points?
What do you mean by that? Oh, what
what would you put it at? Like if I put it at 3.5, would you feel comfortable playing over 3.5 points?
Not with Georgia's defense.
I wouldn't either.
I mean,
it was like their fourth teamers finally gave up a touchdown in the final minute.
The problem would be, if they were playing Georgia, Lance, the problem would be the game would be something like 48-0. Kirby would be pulling guys, and you might get a drive or something like that, But I would not feel good about going over 3. Boy, we're going to get. There's a lot of comments. I can't get to all of them about Dunaway landmining Bryce Young into 2 picks today. That was pretty incredible.
That was pretty incredible. I mean,
yeah.
La Monroe. And I'll be honest with you, I would have taken Bryce Young if I would have had that pick. So we did a interception. We took the main quarterbacks left in the FBS that have yet to throw an interception. We did an interception Deadpool, last man standing. And Bryce didn't go until like pick number 4, which kind of surprised me. But I would have taken him first.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I kind of wanted him. I ended up going Tanner Morgan with Minnesota just because they run the ball all the time. They almost never throw it. So I almost went with him, but he went with Bryce. And turns out that was no pun intended, but a terrible pick for Dunaway. All right, it is the –
Dunaway's on the sideline right now. I'm watching him on CBS.
Oh, there he is. Look at him. I thought he was having to go to a different set. I didn't know he was going to be in the stadium right there.
He's got it shaved today.
He'll shave for them. He won't shave for us. Is that what you're saying?
That's what it looks like.
All right, it's going final. Alabama has beaten La Monroe 63-7. So as they say on the networks, we welcome those of you that were watching the Alabama-Louisiana Monroe game. Bryce Young, 13 of 18, 236, 3 touchdowns, 2 picks. Again, Jahmyr Gibbs did not lead Alabama in rushing. If you're waiting for that to happen today, it was Roydell Williams, 8 carries, 58 yards. They spread it around, but 39 carries, 273, and 3 touchdowns on the ground for Alabama. They held Louisiana Monroe in check, just 169 total yards and 11 first downs for Terry Bowden's squad, LT. And they finally did force the turnover. It was a pick 6 by Will Anderson. Yeah.
Didn't realize his first ever interception and his first touchdown. So good moment for him. I don't know about you. I've seen one elite team through 3 weeks, and that's
Georgia. Yeah. Michigan has done what they're supposed to do, but they've just not played anybody, so I don't know.
Yeah, I'll give you that. And I think that's going to be interesting. Michigan, Penn State, we'll see that in a couple of weeks. Georgia, though, really, really legit. Now look at Ohio State and that win now over Notre Dame. It looks worse and worse. I mean, Notre Dame was lucky to escape California today.
Yeah, they were lucky to escape Cal. And for those that didn't see the final play, it almost went to overtime because Cal might have gone for 2 there. I don't know. But they throw a Hail Mary after a review wiped what was going to be a terrible beat off the board, by the way. Review wipes it off the board. They go Hail Mary, gets tipped around, and the kid's laying in the end zone, and it hits him in his chest, LT, and he just drops it. And that game's either going to a 2-point conversion or going overtime at that point.
Yeah, I think Wilcox probably goes for 2.
Yeah, the way you've just hit a Hail Mary and Notre Dame's reeling, you probably go ahead and do that, don't you?
I would have.
Yeah. We've had some wild games today. Let's go to we'll get back to Auburn in 1 second. Kansas is leading Houston right now, LT, 35-21. This was my upset special. Now, the reason I bring this up, it was my upset alert for one thing, 35-21, they're up. We've had a couple people say, if you're Auburn, go get Lance Leopold. That is not a name that is going to excite people, but he's doing an incredible job in Kansas right now.
Well, Clay asked me, who should Auburn get? I think Mark Stoops is the obvious choice. I don't know if he wants to deal with that, with what, the politics taking that job. But if you can get Mark Stoops, I'd pay Mark Stoops $10 million a year. I really would.
Yeah, he's a good coach, obviously. A team I know you like in the Big 12, Tulane has beaten Kansas State 17-10. Willie Fritz taking that team in there and upsetting K-State. That's a stunning score right there.
Yeah, I almost gave out Tulane plus the 13.5. I thought they'd play them tight. I did not think Kansas State would lose that game. And that's a disappointing loss. They were down 7-0 early. They came back, took that 10-7 lead at halftime. And to lose that, it doesn't really affect what they're doing in the Big 12. But, I just wonder, what it does to their confidence level losing to Tulane at home.
Yeah. By the way, Tanner Morgan threw a pick for Minnesota, so I'm out of that pool too. Because I was just about to give you the Big Ten. Bad day for the Big Ten, no two ways about it. Oklahoma just destroyed Nebraska 49-14 in the first game after Scott Frost. I thought they might play for Joseph, and they did not. They just laid down and got destroyed.
I'm wrong, man. I thought this was going to be Scott Frost's best Nebraska team. They're not as good, not even close to as good as last year. And I was gauging, the Pat Fitzgerald Northwestern doing this and that year to year.
Right.
Northwestern gets beat today, and Northwestern apparently is no good. So that Northwestern loss is even worse for Nebraska. I don't know, man. Nebraska is just that is I shouldn't say it's a terrible job because it's Big Ten and Big Ten money. I just don't know if it's a job you can win at anytime soon.
Yeah. Tripp says the only thing worse than Notre Dame's offense is the horrific broadcast booth for their games. Awful. It's Jack Collinsworth and Jason Garrett, and I don't mean to bash them. It's their first year together, but it just doesn't sound like Notre Dame football and NBC. But right now it matches the way their program's playing, which is not very good. So I don't know.
Honestly, I had it on top left TV, and I did not hear one word.
Well, I had some volume up, LT, because it was the only decent game in the semi-early slate. The early slate was just atrocious, and at least that game kicked at 1:30. Brett says Kool-Aid had over 130 yards and returns. You were saying that, LT, that they got a guy that can flip the field in the kick game with Kool-Aid McKinstry.
Yeah, I think he is. I think he's got more confidence returning punts and covering receivers.
You think so?
Yeah, I really do.
Yeah.
By the way, Toledo is tied up with Ohio State right now, 7-7. I just
7-7. It's not a great day for the Big Ten. Now, Ohio State's going to win this game, but they are struggling today. Bradley says, does anybody have Liberty over Wake? Right now, Liberty leads Wake 23-20 late third quarter. I did not.
I gave 7 plays out today, Brown.
Yeah.
And I'm want to know I had Oregon, who dominated BYU. I've got Mississippi State. I've got NC State, who's up 3-0, and I've got Liberty plus 17.
Mississippi
Liberty's
State was
playing their asses off.
Mississippi State was one of your tuition games, and
I've got a tuition game kicking tonight too. Yeah.
We'll wrap up looking ahead. We're about halfway through the Culver's postgame show presented by Culver's. Welcome to Delicious. Highway 119, Tattersall Park, just off Highway 280, and you can also go by and get all the tailgate stuff on your way to your tailgate. Chicken fingers, those great butter burgers, the great desserts right there at Culver's. Welcome to Delicious. Also, thanks to Next Round Cocktails. You can go to drinknextround.com and see more. The Rose Sangria, like we have here, the Rose Sangria, and the Salted Lime Margarita right here. Next Round Cocktails, drinknextround.com. Let's see. Here we go. Some more. There's a lot of talk about this, LT. Steve says Auburn should have won the orange. We would not have helped enough. My only question is, would TJ Finley still be in the orange? If so,
yeah, look, I don't think it. I think the outcome would have been the same, and then people would have said, "What a distraction!" Would have even been more heat on Harsin, I think.
Yeah. By the way, you see at the top of the screen there, the Next Round store right now. You can use code POSTGAME at checkout and get free shipping. Go order right now in the Next Round store. If you're an Auburn fan, drown your sorrows in the Next Round store. If you're an Alabama fan, celebrate your win in the Next Round store. If you're a UAB fan, celebrate your win in the Next Round store. It's good for all those things. Use the code POSTGAME at checkout, and you save on your shipping right now. Nextround.store. That is nextround.store. Mentioning UAB, they hold on and win 35-21 over Georgia Southern. Cover the spread, win the game, good win. And a bounce back there, LT, for Bryant Vincent and UAB.
Yeah, I like UAB a lot today. Watching them, I mean, they run with a mat on. I mean, they're just so physical offensively. There's not a lot of balance there.
McBride had 223.
Yeah.
223 today for Dwayne McBride.
Well, again, that's what blows me away with, them losing last weekend.
Right.
to Liberty because they were able to effectively run the football. Again, penalties and turnovers, that's been the biggest problem with them.
Yeah. McBride, 223, 4 touchdowns. So a great day for Dwayne McBride. They had 288 rushing. So UAB wins 35-21 to move to 2-1. All right, let's go back to Auburn. Alabama and Auburn are both final. We'll get your comments on both those. Hit us up in the chat room. Tripp says Auburn's realistic wish list. Mark Stoops, you like that one, LT?
Mark Stoops would be number one. Number two on my list, sit back and wait. It's going to happen. Matt Rule's going to get fired. And
from Carolina. If you could get that, that's a huge win.
Look, and some of these guys, it just doesn't translate to the NFL. I mean, look at the greatest coach of all time, and Nick Saban, and, just didn't have success in the NFL.
Yeah.
Matt Rule is a guy that is so good at the collegiate level.
Yeah.
And I get the feeling after this NFL grind that he probably wants to come back. And so I would go Mark Stoops 1, and then I would go number 2 on my list would at least be him.
All right, react to these from Tripp. We mentioned Stoops, Hugh Freeze, Liberty.
I mean, right now watching Liberty, man, they play their third string quarterback is on the road in Winston-Salem, and they're leading that game right now in the second half.
Lance Leopold, Kansas. We mentioned that. Dan Lanning, Oregon.
And I don't know.
It's awful quick. I mean, it's a good win today against BYU, but they also got the story about Georgia. I don't know what to make of Dan Lanning yet. I think he'll be a good coach, but it's very early.
Chip Kelly does nothing for me.
Chip Kelly is on there. Charles Huff Marshall, guy that often doesn't – people don't remember he's a Nick Saban disciple. He's from the Nick Saban tree, maybe not disciple, but from the Saban tree. He's done some good things at Marshall. I don't know that he was an excellent recruiter at Alabama. I do know that. So none of those –
you can't pull the and look, and I think Charles Huff might end up being an outstanding coach, but you don't want to pull the mid-major Sweet 16 run. Let's give him a big job. Stan Heath to Arkansas. I mean, this win for Auburn, I don't know how you feel, but whoever the next coach is going to be that transitional coach when Nick Saban is gone. And so I really think Auburn, we probably said this 2 years ago, they've got to get this hire right.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree with you at all. Culver's post-game show continuing. Also, thanks to Next Round Cocktails, drinknextround.com. Don't forget, as it says at the top, free shipping during this show. If you go to nextround.store, use the word post-game, use the code post-game at checkout and get free shipping in the Next Round store, nextround.store, and the code post-game. If you're watching us on YouTube, make sure you click subscribe, hit that thumbs up for us, tweet us, retweet us right now if you're watching it on Twitter. Also hit the thumbs up there. If you are watching us on Facebook, share us and like us there as well, and also on Twitch. We appreciate all of that. Make sure you've subscribed on YouTube and set your alerts so you know when we're live for things right like this. And nextround.store, code postgame at checkout saves you on your shipping. Bradley asked on Facebook, LT, should I cash out of the bet I placed on Auburn over 5.5 wins for the year?
You can rip that ticket up. I mean, I don't know about you. 6? I would be blown away if they go 6-6. I mean, do you have their schedule? I can pull it.
No, I've got it right here. 2 seconds. I said I got it right. Okay, here you go. So they've got. Let's play best case scenario, right?
And I'm going to give them wins in the next 2 weeks.
All right, Missouri and LSU. So you're 4-1. You only need 2 more wins out of this group.
Okay.
Georgia, loss. I don't even ask you. Ole Miss,
loss.
Here's the thing, though, and I don't disagree with you. Ole Miss looks like a much better team right now than Auburn, but Auburn has owned Ole Miss of late. I mean, that accounts for something.
Yeah.
Arkansas at home. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I still, what I saw, again, against Georgia Tech, Jackson Dart is feeling his way, and he's getting better and better, and he's beating teams with his legs. And Zach Evans is a complete stud. So I just don't think offensively they can keep up with him.
Arkansas at home.
They're not beating Arkansas.
Mississippi State on the road. I know you like the state team.
Yeah, I don't like how Mississippi State's playing offensively right now today. But, we'll see how they come out in the second half. Mississippi State beats Auburn. What was that?
We need to wait on A&M at home. I think we got to wait on A&M. We got to see what they look like.
I think so too. I mean, I still think A&M's a better team.
Yeah, probably right now, but They're about to have potentially some quarterback issues. Western Kentucky at home. A lot of people just like to throw that in the win column. Western
But
Kentucky they're
I'll give them
two
a
and
win.
one, and they're scoring points, and they lost to Indiana in overtime. And I know Indiana's no good, but Western Kentucky is scoring points, and that's at least a Big Ten game on the road they took to overtime.
Yeah,
So give them the win there.
I'll give them a win there. So we got 5 wins.
And and then you would need the Iron Bowl to get a 6.
Yeah, that ain't happening.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough in Tuscaloosa. There's no doubt. Robert says the only way this Auburn team wins 6 games is if my 3 guarantee scenario, which you guys refused to read on air, we actually read it on the air. Fire Harsin immediately named Bruce Pearl the interim head coach. We literally read that on the show, Robert.
It really
facts
wouldn't
right.
It wouldn't be any worse, and I think you could actually get the team more motivated with Pearl. I really think that. Look, and I like Harsin. I just don't like him in this spot. I always thought it was a weird, and I'm pulling for him because I do like him, and I'd like to see him do well. I never thought it was a good fit, and it's not a good fit.
Yeah. Are you ready? Are you ready for the sad music? Cue the sad music. Our Auburn graduate director of social media, Taylor Corn, says, Auburn hurts my heart.
Yeah, she told me she was drinking away her sorrows earlier.
Oh dear, Taylor, dial it back.
She's hanging with our buddy Barkley right now.
Oh, did she meet up with Charles? I know she was trying to track him down. Did she find Charles?
Yeah, she did. She found him before and then right now after.
Okay.
We're missing the party, Graham.
I know we are. I'm quite all right being right here in my basement, Lance. I don't mind telling you. It is the Culver's post-game show. Culver's, welcome to Delicious. All your tailgating needs, from the butter burgers to the chicken fingers, right there on 119 Tattersall Park, just off 280. And Stadium Trace right there next to the Hoover Met. Culver's, welcome to Delicious. Also, Next Round Cocktails. DrinkNextRound.com to find these. The Rosé Sangria, and I think I called it Rose earlier, which people are laughing at me. I'm sure Rosé Sangria, and also the Salt and Lime Margarita right there with Next Round Cocktails. DrinkNextRound.com. And don't forget to go to the Next Round store. Use the code POSTGAME at checkout and save on your shipping while we're on here. NextRound.store. That is NextRound.store. So hopefully,
you see that is, bro?
No, it looks like a pillow. Oh, is that Lady Bird? Yeah. Pillows don't move that way. Taylor says, by the way, Don Julio shots with Charles currently. Oh boy, that is getting out of getting out of control quickly.
Watch
Settle
it.
down. Settle down, little T. All right, here we go. Oh yeah, Ryan, we're talking LSU and Auburn. 1 game scenario. Who you take right now, Jaden Daniels or TJ Finley?
Jaden Daniels. Not even close. Not even
close. Tripp says Jaden Daniels. Scott Forrester from the back row says Jaden Daniels. Tripp says TJ Finley should be playing FCS level football.
Yeah,
look, I'm not the biggest TJ Finley fan. I've said it many times. He is not going to win you major games. He can beat San Jose State. He can beat Mercer, but he is not going to win the big time games for you. That said, LT, he does not have an offensive line. It was free rusher after free rusher coming at him. And I mean, it's hard to succeed that way.
Yeah, the offensive line was bad today. There's no doubt. And I've got to say this, man. I'm not shocked that the offense played as bad as they did, but I am shocked that defense played like that, because that was a defense that gave up just a little over 21 points a game last year. And I thought it was a defense that could keep them hovering around 6 or 7 wins this year. And I just wonder where they are mentally after that. They got pushed around. And again, that first drive for Popo to have that hit, I just thought they would feed off that.
Yep. 245, 39 carries for 245 on the ground at Jordan-Hare. And look, I mean, that's just manhandling, LT. When you go to Jordan-Hare and put 245 on Auburn, you've just manhandled them on the ground, and that's pure and simple what they did.
Well, and again, now you've got to face teams. You think about the teams that can run the football, with Ole Miss coming up, and Arkansas, and Georgia.
Yep.
It's just not getting any easier. The schedule gets more difficult. Now you get a little break with Missouri at home. If that game was in Columbia, I have no idea. I think Auburn's probably a 3-point favorite. I'm going to say they're 7.5 or 8 here against Missouri, but it's not a slam dunk.
But it feels like, I mean, I don't want to overstate this or oversell this, LT, and we're probably going to do this a lot between now and however this rectifies itself with Harsin. but it feels like maybe the most critical game in the Harsin era for him. Would you agree with that?
Yeah,
I mean,
well, I'll
if
give
they
you
lose
this.
that one,
Look, again, I think it's terminal. I think it's done. But I think if he was to lose homecoming against Missouri, I think he gets fired that night.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I don't think they would wait to a bye week or
Yeah.
anything like that. You would just say, okay, we've seen all we need to see. We didn't want him to survive the offseason. Now he's lost to Missouri, who is maybe the worst team in the conference. I don't know. I mean, if
Yeah,
Auburn
no, they
loses to
are.
them, obviously Auburn is. But I would say right now Missouri is. I think they're probably worse than Vanderbilt.
Yeah, I think Missouri's the worst, then Vanderbilt, and then I would say Auburn.
Then Auburn's in the conversation, and
Yeah.
that's why we're even discussing that. That's why we're having this. Goose says, I was wondering why Auburn didn't recruit Rattler out of the portal. Now I know dude is average to below average. Wouldn't be an improvement. He's
Dude,
a turnover machine.
Look, you and I both, we got up extremely early and we went up to Johnston RV and had a great time up there this morning doing the pre-show. But we both took naps in the 11 o'clock window because the games were so bad.
That's right.
But what I did see, having a roommate that is a Georgia grad watching that game, and all she was pulling for was a shutout. Like you're going to go all season not giving up a touchdown. But that's the way it seemed for a second. But the best throw of the day from South Carolina by far was from their punter on that fake. It wasn't even close. And I was almost like, just keep him in there because Spencer Rattler, I cannot believe how bad he is.
Turnover machine. I mean, that's what ran him out of Oklahoma. That's why, there was a change of quarterback at Oklahoma, who, by the way, is now obviously at USC getting ready to play for your Trojans tonight against Fresno.
I think Luke Doty's a better
option.
I don't know if he can start Luke Doty, but he seems to be the better option.
Yeah. Robert says, guys, the Penn State team I saw against Purdue and in person today is not a good team, all caps. They manhandled our offensive line, all caps. Thompson High wouldn't trade their offensive line for hours. Here's the thing, LT. Even when Nick Brahms retired, I thought the first two games, I'm not saying Auburn's offensive line played good by any stretch of the imagination, but the first two games, they played better than I thought they would. They were one of the units I would say had played better than I thought they would play. They were atrocious today. If they had played better, they regressed today. They were awful.
Yeah, I agree. And I kind of agree with Bobby that, not only the offensive line, I don't know how good this Penn State team is. What blows me away is Nick Singleton not getting more touches because you see how explosive and fast he is. And, for that guy just to be really, the second, third option, I would get that guy 20 plus touches because he's going to break a couple, which he did today.
Yeah.
But I think to me, Penn State is probably fourth or fifth in the pecking order of the Big Ten. I think Minnesota's better.
Maybe so. I mean, Minnesota hasn't been terribly tested, have they? But I mean, they whipped Colorado today. Bob Sacamano, is Calzada injured? That is the belief right now, yes, is that he is not 100%. Yeah, I mean, listen, I was far from impressed with him at Texas A&M outside of the one game he called lightning in a bottle against Alabama. But even his normal day at A&M, LT, is better than what we're seeing out of Auburn's quarterback spot right now. Agreed?
Yeah, agree, man. And, we all played sports, and I've seen guys that are terrible in practice that are really good in games. And maybe that's Calzada. Maybe he's in the doghouse. Maybe he's hurt. I don't know what it is. But I would love, for that Monday press conference, somebody's got to ask Carson, is he healthy? Because if he's healthy and you're not playing him, it's kind of the JT Daniels before Stetson Bennett really turned the corner. We couldn't figure out why JT Daniels wasn't playing for Georgia. And that's the situation right now because you're not getting effective quarterback play. So it makes no sense why Calzada, if he is healthy, is not in there.
Yeah. Jeff says, would this be Auburn's worst team since 2012? I think that's pretty apparent right now. Oops, excuse me. Sorry. Wait a minute. What are we doing here? Yeah, LT, I think it's the worst team since 2012. 2012 was awful, though.
I don't know if they can be that bad, but maybe.
Yeah.
These things come off the rails.
Tripp says FanDuel has just posted Auburn, Missouri. They've got Missouri plus 6.5 on FanDuel.
I said 7.5. Dangerous game, man. I mean, I don't feel comfortable either way. I think Missouri sucks, but I couldn't go to the window. Yeah. I can't lay a touchdown with this Auburn team right now. I just can't.
Yeah, But could you go to the window, Missouri plus 6.5?
No.
I
I don't know if I
would
can watch that
say
game.
It's going to be pretty bad. 11 o'clock. Oh, do you know how dead that crowd's going to be? Listen to that. This is a nightmare scenario for Brian Harsin. And a lot of you are saying, look, he's already done, so quit talking about how this is going to be the biggest game. He ain't going to save it. I'm just saying if he loses, his next big bad loss could be the trigger that just ends it all. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying he could save his job at Auburn, but I'm saying the next loss is the one that could end it all, LT. So let me paint this scenario for you. Auburn coming off this disastrous day of football, right? 11 a.m. kick against a terrible team like Missouri. You told me it's homecoming. I did not know that. Is that homecoming?
I think it is, yeah.
Yeah, homecoming. So you're going to have a lot of people in there, with family and kids and stuff like that. It's going to be a flat crowd. It's an 11 a.m. crowd. They're not going to be excited because it's Missouri and their team plays poorly. It's going to be a flat situation. It's ripe for a Missouri upset right there, the way Auburn's playing right now.
It is, and I don't know how. Like I don't think we like Eli Drinkwitz, but who's the better coach right now?
Yeah.
Shaky camera game, by the way. Washington on the move. Michael Penix just threw a bullet. I've got Washington, by the way, so this is another one.
I couldn't tell.
I told you, like I've never gone undefeated on a college football Saturday. I had a feeling going into this week, and I've still got 2 plays that haven't gone.
By the way, Lunsford, the back row, says in a show of solidarity for the state of Alabama, Auburn can have Bill O'Brien.
I think I don't think Auburn fans would be excited though. Do you?
No, I think they'd rather keep Harsin than take Bill O'Brien.
Hey, upset alert! 7-0 Missouri State second quarter. Bobby Petrino beating his old team.
Hey, listen. I mean, we've been sitting here singing Arkansas's praises, and Dave has noticed. He goes, Lance's boy Bobby P up early in that one. Oh, hey, how about this? Steve says, highlighted this Auburn fans' day. It's a low bar, I'm sure. Wife watches Next Round with me, orders me a shirt. Nextround.store, post-game at checkout. Good job, Steve's wife.
Hey, Brown, I'm willing to throw this out. I don't know if I can make it. I don't know if you're up to it. But when we get off here in about 10 minutes, after USC Fresno, I might be willing to come back on for 30 minutes to an hour if you're up.
That's fine with me. Yeah. Do a late show.
Because I want to celebrate 7-0. If I get 7-0, I'm doing fireball shots right here at midnight, 12:30, 1 o'clock.
I mean, just to quickly recap, you are currently 1-0, right?
I'm only 1-0, yeah.
Okay, so there are 6 more decisions that have to go your way.
I do say, but I will say this. I've got Liberty plus 17, and that game right now is 23-23 with 10:29 to go. Liberty's probably going to have to punt here in a sec. I don't want to jinx it, but I feel pretty good about that spot. I've got Mississippi State -3 up 6 at half. They've got to come out and be a little cleaner. Washington -3.5. They're up. Extra point pending. Hopefully now, 7-0.
All right.
And I've got NC State, and they're up 6-0.
All right, here we go. Dave says, do it, LT. Matthew says, let's do a late show. Cornbread says, late night is the best. Lunsford says, it's way too early now. Got to come back to get weird. Yeah. Jeffrey says, I'll stay up with y'all. All right, so I guess we're doing it. Look, I am. Let's see. What's the latest game, LT? What game will we go after? Right when USC's done?
Yeah, if that's okay with you.
Oh, no. No, we got to see the end of Miami, Texas A&M.
Yeah, but that's going to be USC doesn't kick till 9:30.
What? Is it that late?
Yeah.
So we're going to go that late? Okay. I'm in.
Well, if it's decided hopefully
if it's a blowout or something like that.
Yeah, right when I say Liberty's got this thing won. First.
I mean, what are you doing? Why are you jinxing yourself? Is that one of the 6 that you need to go your way?
Yeah. I'm willing at second half if the game is decided, we can just go ahead and go on. That's fine with me.
Okay. All right. So we'll figure that out. We are doing a late show, though. Thank you. It'll be more Culvers and more Next Round cocktails. I will call corporate LT. I'll call the corporate office and see if we can convince them to keep the Next Round special going.
Now, are they
next round.store code postgame, huh?
Is HR worried about me already starting bourbon?
HR has long since given up on you.
Okay.
So
That's good.
I don't think they care. Next round store code postgame at checkout to save on shipping. I'll see if corporate will approve that in the late night postgame as well. Right now though, 10 more minutes to go in this one. Culver's, welcome to Delicious, Highway 119 and 280 in Tattersall Park. We are also got Culver's. I was just by there yesterday out at Stadium Trace in Hoover near the Hoover Met. Great tailgating, great butter burgers, those chicken fingers. My little one loves the fries there at Culver's, loves them. And they got great results. Culver's, welcome to Delicious. And real quick, Next Round Cocktails, drinknextround.com. Don't forget the Rosé Sangria and the Salted Lime Margarita, drinknextround.com. Yes, Lance.
I got an honest admission, and this is really embarrassing, but I wanted Culver's last night, and it was midnight. And so the one out by us here on 119 closes at 10 o'clock.
Yeah, they're not open at midnight. Yeah.
So wait this one up. Looks like 9 minutes to go.
Well,
jeez. So we wanted burgers, me and the boys last night after eating Taco Mama for dinner. So this is like 12:15, 12:30.
right.
Get on DoorDash and ordered 16 cheeseburgers, 3 McFlurries, 5 apple pies, and 3 large fries. And guess what I dropped? I didn't get my receipt until
you told me. You've told me what you dropped. Yeah.
$120 on McDonald's. I didn't think that was possible.
An absurd expenditure on your part.
Yeah, it might be the worst purchase I've ever made. And by the way, the debate is today whether I ate 6 or 7 burgers with an apple pie.
So we don't know. There's no video evidence.
We really don't know. 10-0 Missouri State, by the way.
Yeah. Hey, that's a problem.
Yeah.
That's a problem right there. Hey, Steve follows up on his wife ordering the shirt and saving with the code postgame. Failed to mention she's a Bama fan. Just felt bad for him. Mixed marriage there. So a Bama fan taking care of an Auburn fan, watching his team get popped by Penn State. Chase says Will Friend is sabotaging the OL for his alma mater. Might as well go full conspiracy here. He is an Alabama grad, and that OL is not good. So I don't know. I don't know if we do that.
I thought the offensive line would be improved this year. I don't know.
I did too. And I thought they had been. I honestly thought they had been.
I would say it's one game, but I don't know.
Blake says, LT, what's up with the cat picture above you?
So there used to be a place called, what was the place in Avondale? Something art. And my ex used to buy me like strange pieces because I like some of the eclectic art. And that's just one of my, I don't like cats, but I like the image of a black cat, if that makes any sense at all.
Really doesn't, but
it really does.
Cool. It is a cool piece of art. I've seen it in your house. Jeffrey says NC State seems to have a hard time punching it in this game. Excuse me, against Texas Tech. It is 6-0 right now, late first quarter.
Yeah, 2 red zone possessions and 2 field goals. They scored on an interesting play, a touchdown, and it got called back on penalty. But yeah, they're having a hard time punching it in. Yep. Their defense is showing up though.
Yep. Christopher says LT's late night bourbon and talking crap is the best.
Well, Christopher, you'll be there because trust me, USC doesn't kick for 2.5 hours. So 6 hours, I'm going to be going on bourbon,
yep.
And I'll be ripe. I just hope I can speak.
Says if you hit the 7-0, he'll pound a bottle of Blanton's because he's been on all those games with you right now.
Let's do it, Bradley.
Yeah,
let's do it. I feel good about this. I've got a weird feeling about 7-0 tonight.
Mark says I am in late night. Lunsford says is Graham Poobah at the store? I'll see what I can do about extending the special for the late night show. Goose says he loves next round after dark.
Mississippi State is dicking everything up though. They just dropped a easy first down. And now I guarantee you, Leach is going to go for it, 4th and 2.
And people are asking if Dunaway will be part of the late night. Yes, that'll be one of the reasons we're doing it. Forgive my profile here, but I'm going to turn around and see this 4th and 2 because Leach, that early one, Lance, that was like at the 30, and he just ran it. I mean, I don't expect a run out of Leach ever,
Never. Never. And no, they're punting good. I want them
boring.
To punt. Yeah, boring. I think their defense can dominate this game.
Yeah. Hey, Dunaway will jump on with us. Bob Sacramento says, will Oklahoma make the playoffs? They were playing a crap Nebraska team that has lost their coach, but man, did they look good.
They did. They did. I don't know. I'm not prepared now. You know, I'm a big guarantee guy. I'm not prepared to say I know anything right now outside of Georgia is really good. Like I really have no idea. I could see Oklahoma. I could see USC.
Yeah.
But I really don't know. It's just been such a strange first 3 weeks that aren't even done.
Yeah. Charlie asked this: with the Ohio State win over Notre Dame no longer looking that great, do you still think they're definitely the best team in the Big Ten?
Yes. I feel really confident.
Michigan would be the only argument, right?
Yeah, I mean, Travion Henderson is a complete stud at running back. They've got a really good offensive line. CJ Stroud is awesome. With Smith and Jigba being out, Marvin Harrison has been able to show out a little bit. I think Ohio State's going to be fine. I really do.
Let's see. John asked, LT, what's been your best ever record on a college football Saturday?
I've had some one loss. I've had like some 8-1s.
Yeah.
I think I've had some 11-2s, things like that. I've just never had a perfect full slate because I've never given out less than 7 games, and I only gave out 7 today. But I've never had a perfect slate. And again, in the NFL, in the 7 years we've had the website up and operating, I've probably had 7, 8, 9, 10 perfect days in the NFL, but never in college.
Yeah. Christopher said, give Dunaway a 50 meg Delta 8 and a double vodka transfusion. He should be funny. What would that do to Dunaway?
I'll tell you. So a friend of mine gave me, it would knock him out. And the reason I'm not going to do one tonight, and I would do one after the USC game, is because I forget a lot when I do them. Last night, one of the reasons that we had the $120 McDonald's order was because of that.
Yeah.
But somebody gave me a pack of, they're called Death by Gummy Bears.
Right.
And they're 100 milligrams a piece. And I have yet to open that pack because it scares me to death.
Dangerous. All right, let's talk about what's coming up here, LT, real quick before we get out of here. 8 o'clock, Miami at Texas A&M. It's the ESPN game. We talked about it some earlier on the pregame show. This is one of your tuition games, so we're not going to go too heavily into it. But Max Johnson making the start makes this really, really interesting.
Yeah, I will tell you, this is an easy play tonight for me. Get on board lanceslog.com. Max Johnson should be getting the start tonight. Jimbo's got to do something with this offense. Much like Brian Harson's offense, you got to make a decision. You got to stick with it. I think Jimbo goes Max Johnson tonight. I'm giving you a hint here. I think Max Johnson is your starting quarterback the rest of the year.
Seems like you think he'll do well. USC minus the 11 hosting Fresno, late night main Fox 9:30. How do you feel about your Trojans in this one?
Dude, they're giving up over 6 yards a carry. And, you know, they forced 8 turnovers, which is great, but they can't stop the run. And Fresno's got a lot of balance. Jake Hayner is one of the best quarterbacks that a lot of people have never seen that will watch him tonight. He'll make plays. Gritty kid, very accurate, but they're going to be able to run the football. I think USC could be in trouble tonight. I think it's one of those games they want to show out. They want to prove their worth, but the matchup for them is not good tonight. And I almost gave out Fresno State again. I told you this morning the reason I didn't is I wanted to be able to sit back and pull for USC, but I don't feel good about it.
Yeah. If I said 7 o'clock for Miami, Texas A&M, I apologize. It's 8 o'clock. UTSA plays Texas at 7 on Longhorn Network. There's video of Quinn Ewers, no pads or anything, but out warming up. His arm's not in a brace or sling or anything. At least warming up outside of pads before the game. We're right at kick. So I don't know what happened, but Quinn Ewers was out there on the field.
Jeez, Mr. Miyagi must have clapped the hands and gotten him ready. That would be Walt Frazier-like if Ewers was able to go. I think he's already been ruled out, though. I don't think we're going to see him for a while. And, you know, I think Hudson Card's going to try to go. And if it doesn't work out, they go QB3. Again, I think that's a tough game. I almost gave out the Roadrunners. That was my upset alert. So I think they play well tonight. I think they give Texas everything they want.
I'm going to see if this photo will show up. Can you see your screen? Somebody tweeted this to me. This is Ed Orgeron.
In Miami gear?
In Miami gear, yeah.
Is that the chick he was in bed with?
That I do not know, LT. Answer that question. Coach in Miami gear. How many times, LT, do you think I got sent this photo right here?
Oh, I knew it. Like when I saw
it. As soon as it came up, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Right when I saw it, I was like, that's going to be it this week.
Yep.
It's going to be hard to beat.
I've only had it
Holy
sent to me about
shit. Are you
7,000
watching
times.
Liberty?
No. What happened?
4th and 7. Amazing scramble. And watch this. If you've got it on the ACC network. I don't know if you do.
Hang on.
Yeah. Put it on. 612.
I got you. They got La Tech at Clemson.
No,
So
it's on my ACC.
No. It's just that game hadn't started yet. So this is his third-team quarterback, right?
Yep. And he had thought he found him a hidden gem in Charlie Brewer, a guy that started at Baylor, Utah 3 games last year, got hurt week 1 against Southern Miss. They won that game in overtime. But just look at this play. This is a third-string guy. Buying time on the road. How he was that open, I have no idea.
Yeah. 30
what
to
a
30.
game.
Sam
30,
Hartman's
30.
playing. Sam Hartman's playing for them, right?
He is. He's turning the ball over. He's not playing well.
Wow. All right. That's a lot that we have done in the first part of our post game. Don't forget to go to the Next Round store. Use the code postgame. God, this is so hard to do for me. The cameras are opposite, LT. Use postgame, nextround.store, and you save on shipping at checkout. Why is it so hard for me to do this? Yeah, I got it now. Right up here, nextround.store. Use the code postgame at checkout, and you'll save on your shipping, as many of you have already done. Thank you to Culver's. Welcome to Delicious. It's just 7 o'clock right now. You got time to go out and get dinner at Culver's Butterburger. If you're an Auburn fan, go drown your sorrows in one of those great desserts at Culver. Get a concrete with a Heath bar in it. It is so good. That's what I get. Also, Next Round cocktails. You can drown a lot of sorrows in that as well. The Rosé Sangria and also the Salted Lime Margarita. We are going to be back. What time would you estimate that?
I actually think
midnight.
it's gonna be a long game, so I think we'll probably be back at 1:00.
That is late.
Let's just see.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I got to roll.
All right.
I'm gonna tell some people bye.
Thanks, Culver's. Thanks, Next Round cocktails.
7-0. 7-0. We're getting wild tonight.
Click subscribe. LT is out of here. Click subscribe if you have not already. Please subscribe. Also give us a thumbs up. Be back with us late night. So set your alert so you know when we go live. All right. Thank you. We'll see you later. Enjoy the football.